All right, let's take a look at problems 1 through 3. Remember, with these problems here, I'm going to use the good old y equals m times, that's an m times the quantity x minus h plus k. This is the point-slope form of the linear equation. And this is what I'm going to use every time for two reasons, is that we need to practice using this. And this is a foolproof way to always figure out what the equation of a line is given, assuming you can figure out the slope and you're given a point on the line, and that point could include the y-intercept, where 0 would be your h and -4 would be your k. So let's take a look at number 1, a line with a slope of -3 and a y-intercept of 0, 4. Well, look, we have all three pieces of information already given to us, an m, an h, and a k. So we will plug and chug. I'll come back over here. So that's y equals -3 times the quantity x minus 0 plus a -4. Remember that k is equal to just -4. So the reason I draw out our neighboring signs here is that whenever you have neighboring signs and they're different, it's just the same thing as a negative sign. So I'm just going to write a -4. When you have a number outside of a grouping of parentheses, that -3 distributes to the x and then to the 0. So finally, y will equal -3x plus 0 minus 4. And this is your answer for number 1. And as you can see, our answer here is in mx plus b form, where m is -3 and b is -4. And so this is our, notice how we started. We started with our point-slope form, and we ended with our slope-intercept form. Let's move along to number 2. A line with a slope of -1/2 passing through -8, 9. So our slope is -1/2, our h is -8, and our k is 9. Fantastic, we have all three pieces of information. Let's plug and chug. Y equals -1/2. And at this point, I am not going to rewrite our equation every time. You need to know that I am using m times the quantity x minus h plus k. So y equals m times the quantity x minus, what's h? H, what is h? You said -8. X minus -8 plus k. What's k? Oh, you said 9. That's absolutely correct. Brilliant. So, again, I want to emphasize how we treat our neighboring signs here. I have a x minus h, where h was -8. So we have x minus -8. Well, our neighboring negatives turn into one big positive, because when you negate a negative, it turns into a positive. It's just like saying, I ain't got nothing, which essentially means I have everything. So you turn a double negative statement is actually a positive statement. Who knew you'd learn grammar in math class? Moving right along, we'll distribute this -1/2 to x, and then we distribute it to 8, which gives -1/2 x minus 4 plus 9. Half of x is, well, -1/2 x, and -half of 8 is -4, and that 9 just comes right down. That equals -1/2 x plus 5. And there you have it. Again, notice that we started in point-slope form, and we ended in slope-intercept form. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 gives us a table. And what I like to do is that let's automatically make the assumption that this is a linear equation. And, well, we don't even have to make that assumption. We can see that if you can test and see that the rate of change is constant, then it is a linear function, but all we're going to deal with on this test is linear functions. So given that truth, all we need to focus on are 2 points on our table. So I'm going to rewrite our table in a vertical form because that's how we've done it in class, and that's how I personally like to do it. So our x is -3, y is -7, and I'm pulling it from this ordered pair right here. And our second ordered pair, x is -1, y is -1. And so this is all we're given. Okay, but hold on, we need an m, we need an h, and we need a k in order to use our point-slope form. Well, these two are no problem because we have a possible h here and a possible k here and a possible h here and a possible k here, but we need a slope. Well, we know that slope equals change in y over change in x, right? Because isn't change in y the same idea as our rise over our run? It is. So, and I'm not going to belabor the point of teaching that at this point, but what you need to know is that we can calculate our change in y right over here by asking ourselves, how do we get from -7 to 1? Well, that is a change of +6. Let's look over here. What's our change in x? How do we get from -3 to -1? That's a change of +2. Well, look at this. We know that our slope is change in y over change in x. Our change in y we just calculated was 6. Our change in x is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we know that our slope is 3. And we have 2 ordered pairs here we can work with. We can work with any of these ordered pairs. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to work with these. I'm going to work with 1 and 5. So h will be 1, k will be 5. And from here we plug and chug. Y equals 3 times the quantity x minus 1 plus 5. Distribute the 3. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times -1 is -3 plus 5. Add like terms. 3x plus 2 equals y. And there you have it. There is our simplified answer. This is a line that passes through the point 1, 5 and has a slope of 3.